Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're here this afternoon to visit with Sarah Jorgensen to talk a little bit about the South Dakota Certified Program. Sarah works for the Department of Agriculture, and I'm going to just ask her to tell me a little bit about where we're at with the South Dakota Certified Program.
Thanks, Clint. Right now with the South Dakota Certified Program, the last year we have gone through a lot of changes. The program is 8 years old. With the program, we did some rule changes in December. You no longer have to have a premise ID in order to sign up for South Dakota Certified. The program, what is required is you do need to be BQA'd, Beef Quality Assurance, with the CMP, which is a Critical Management Plan certification. Then you can send in your application and we will be able to process the application. We still come out and do a producer evaluation to make sure that you follow all the requirements. We're not here to tell you how to do the business, but we just need to follow the rules and regulations of what is set forth for South Dakota Certified. Also, South Dakota Certified is a program to track the cow specifically from one location to the next location. So with that being said, we don't require any business management programs for South Dakota or for the producers, but what we do is we just track that animal specifically.
So, so what does it take for market cattle to qualify for the South Dakota Certified Program? Is there something special about those cattle?
The cattle for South Dakota Certified, one special thing is that they can never leave the borders of South Dakota. They have to be born, raised, and also slaughtered in South Dakota to become South Dakota Certified beef. Okay. But with South Dakota Certified, we also have some other programs that will work. The South Dakota Certified Enrolled Cattle Program is an age and source program for the live cattle. And what that does is it's when the calf is born. It starts where the location of the calf is born, and it will track it all the way through slaughter. Right now, South Dakota does not have a packing plant that can supply the South Dakota Certified Beef Program. So what we have done with the South Dakota Certified Enrolled Cattle Program is we have went out to the other cattle, other processors to make sure that we qualify for their age and source. So they will be able to, the cattle can still leave the state, they just don't become South Dakota Certified beef. They're still age and source.
Okay. So once we have a packing plant up and running, we know that there's a plant in process of being developed there at Northern Packers in Aberdeen. What do you anticipate the premium would be for the South Dakota Certified cattle?
I'm hoping the premium will be a good one for the South Dakota Certified, or for producers in South Dakota, because the main reason why this program was developed was to get an increased value, a value-added product out of the cattle that are coming from South Dakota. I can't guarantee any premiums. That's all up to Northern Beef Packers, but hopefully they will have a premium for them.
So at this time, you have been around the state and looked at a number of different operations. How many folks are interested in participating in this program that you know of so far?
Currently, we have 80 producers signed up for South Dakota Certified Enrolled Cattle Program. At one time, we did have 241 producers, but there's been some changes. Sometimes the program doesn't work for everybody, and that's perfectly fine. But right now, I think the anticipation for this program is everybody's very excited about this.
I'm assuming that with this South Dakota Certified Program that it's not breed specific, that any breed of cattle would qualify?
There is one. We don't accept the Brahmas. We don't accept those breeds. But Angus, Charolais, Simmental, any other English breeds are welcomed.
Well, from what we know in South Dakota, it's probably not the ideal climate for Brahman cattle anyway.
Right.
Okay, I haven't seen very many in my time here so far. Well, thank you. It's been good to visit with you today, and we appreciate your time. Thank you.